Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. King it play, yeah, yeah. In Vibe Nation, say oh yeah, yeah. Alright, I go to work. Yeah, let's go, alright.
Open up your mind, dig deeper inside, then see what you find. It's a vibe, get myself aligned, won't waste any time, this can't be defined. It's a vibe, Vibe Nation. We LIP, it's Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, Vibe Nation. We LIP, Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, yeah. Earn your respect, make you a check. Hope you prepare for whatever is next. I gotta honor the code no matter what, so you know that I ain't breaking it yet. And I ain't breaking the sweat. I am so comfortable up in my element. I remember everything like an elephant. Can't involve myself if it ain't intelligent. I feel it shining on me. Yeah, that's the sun that's giving me power. When you enlighten, you can't be a coward. Giving out knowledge like water in showers. We let it rain, we trying to gain more of the light instead of the darkness. Put my ego in a hidden compartment. In my own section like an apartment. I gotta start this, taking my shot like a marksman. I'm painting the scene like an artist. They looking at who with the farthest. I back it up, that's why I talk it. The vibes are with me, that's often. I rarely do this for profit. And I'm only talking to bosses. Y'all, open up your mind, dig deeper inside, then see what you find. It's a vibe, get myself aligned, won't waste any time, this can't be defined. It's a vibe,
Let me teach you how to vibe.
We LIP, it's Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, Vibe Nation. We LIP, Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, okay. Pushing the positive, negativity, I see the opposite. I was thinking the movement was obvious, but I see that y'all really acknowledge it. I'm a put the agenda until it's ready. I carry the weight even though it's heavy. I carry the torch only if you let me. I'm deep in your mind, I'm a mental edgy. Yeah, it's LIP, living in peace. Asking me where do I find my relief? Wondering where do I put my release? Lately I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. We tryna only influence the culture. Y'all influence the dead like a vulture. Y'all ain't good for the body like ulcers. Ain't no secret, we locking the vote up. That's 10 years plus in the game. So when you talk about us, it ain't the same. And we don't get involved with the lanes. And the lock real tight like chains. Whole squad ready, and we got back up. About that piece, but we will go and act up. Whole squad ready, and we got back up. About that piece, but we will go act up. Open up your mind, dig deeper inside, then see what you find. It's a vibe, get myself aligned, won't waste any time, this can't be defined. It's a vibe, Vibe Nation. We LIP, it's Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, Vibe Nation. We LIP, Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP, yeah. Love is a vibe, go by the creed, that's what we live by. We got some seeds that we tryna grow, so for the kids we ain't letting it slide. We tryna
I think it's time for a new theme song, y'all.
Until they start asking the questions why they going so hard. We got a goal that we tryna meet. Eyes on the prize and I won't take defeat. I gotta focus, I'm just like a camera. I don't take my eyes off the things that I need. Living our life with a spiritual balance. Respect the size of the yin and the yang. I know the good gonna come with the bad. Even in failure, there's lessons in the game. We gotta switch up the way that we think. How we react is an obvious issue. When it's wartime, we don't make peace. It's like NFL, how them boys blitz you. Tryna put my people on a different way. Cause we lost and we don't know the way.
Let me teach you how to
really don't know
vibe.
what to say. Bet they gon' change even if not today. Y'all open up your mind, dig deeper inside, then see what you find. It's a vibe, get myself aligned, won't waste any time, this can't be defined. It's a vibe, Vibe Nation. We LIP, it's Vibe Nation, yeah. We LIP.
Shotbybuddha Facebook gaming in the building.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Hey, listen, man. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content. If you watch it on YouTube, Shop Talks go up every morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. You got picture in picture. Tap in on Kick on the green app. You got no ads, up to 50 emotes you can use free. Hit that like, follow, tap in.
Let me
the
teach
content.
you how to vibe.
If you're watching on Twitch, Amazon Prime free. Once a month, you can use the sub on your favorite content creator. If you don't use it on me, use it on somebody else. Don't let Jeff Bezos keep your money. All right, man. Hope everybody have a blessed day. Say it again, KT2. Fast and violent. That's what we want to be. We want to be fast and violent in Nashville. New head honcho.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
New head of the ship. Robert Saleh, Mike Berganzi, tag team to take over the Tennessee Titans. Introduced today. I've never seen the Tennessee Titan media be as calm as they was today. They seemed like they was all being respectful. Nobody asked no crazy questions. Seemed like everybody was well prepared.
Let me teach you how to
and a lot of
vibe.
the players showed up for the press conference. I think people are impressed with what Amy and the brass in Nashville has put together on this coaching search with Robert Saleh, Dabo, keeping Bones Fossil, bringing in White Cotton. They still have yet to announce a few more hires that they plan to bring in. But the coaching staff is shaping up, and we're getting to begin to see
Let me teach you
what
how to
Robert
vibe.
Saleh wants to do with the Tennessee Titans. So this is gonna be Senior Bowl. I don't know if any of y'all been tapped into the Senior Bowl. A lot of people making a name for themselves at the Senior Bowl, boosting their draft stocks as we suspected, and that's what's gonna make it interesting. What we've known the top players all year, and then you get down to it, and you see who's actually coming out and who's going back to school, who's injured, who's not, and then you see the Senior Bowl followed by the Combine, and then you start to shape out that top 100 of the draft, specifically the first round, and start to pinpoint where players are going to go. So this is the interesting part of it. I mean, if you look at that picture, that look like the Tennessee Titans future is looking bright. 2 times in the building. Stevie B tightened up. Dre say 15 players was there, and that's a lot. Piece of Maine was good. He said, now my offensive coordinator. Now the blue tent, the blue tent is something that got more to do with Jackson Dart than Dabo. Ain't nobody going to concussion protocol. He said they go defensive or offensive. That's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, like y'all know
Let me
the
teach
Tennessee
you how to
Titans season
vibe.
has been over since the 3rd or 4th week of the season, and I've been doing mock drafts much to
Let
the
me teach you how
demise
to
of
vibe.
Comedy 2 Times, one of the chat OGs. I've been doing mocks almost every stream since December. So if y'all been really following the channel, y'all seen me put out 100 mocks, and they changed. The AI changed. You know, I had Raleek Brown coming out. He went back to school. Dante Moore went back to
Let me
school.
teach
So
you how to
the
vibe.
order of where people are going to come off the board is going to change. And then when you see Malachi Fields, when you see Lee Hunter, when you see some of the old linemen, I told y'all Barry and Brown, it's some people that get down there and show out and improve their stock. So there's some people that, you know, people were high on whose stock falls back after the Senior Bowl going against the ones-on-ones. So this is going to be interesting to see after the Combine.
Let me teach you
People
how to
put,
vibe.
verticals, physical size, speed, all that together.
Let me
mixed
teach you
with
how to
the
vibe.
tape from the Senior Bowl and people's body of work their entire college career. This is going to be interesting to see who rises and who falls in the draft, and just where the Titans draft board stockpiles at. And one thing I think, getting a coach like Robert Saleh and Dabo to run the offense, when you see that, and depending on who they bring in at DC, by them having White Cotton and Bones Fossil already on board, you start to think Tennessee Titans free agency board is starting to look a whole lot nicer, because you've got some players that may want to come play for these coaches. So this is the interesting part of it for me. Ordering your bald head cap. Yeah, it's different now, man. It's a different set of circumstances 2 times, you feel me? He said, gotta try and let go to, I need a closer picture of them. Nah, that's perfect right there. He said got the number 1 pick. What you mean, Ocho? Elaborate. He said Mike and Saleh playing mirror each other. I'm like, this is so far. I mean, I just like that. Like, it seemed like we have football people in Nashville running the show right now. Not to say that it wasn't before, but I'm saying it's pretty clearly the energy that of the coaches and the people that they bringing in is more Tennessee Titan-esque. That blue collar, bring your hard hat. I just like that he said fast and violent. Mike Berganzi said some stuff. Robert Saleh said some stuff, and all I took away from the press conference was fast and violent, and that's all I needed to hear. And when he said one more thing that might be subtle to others, but it means a lot to me, is by saying that on Sunday and after games, you're going to see what a Tennessee Titan looks like pop off the tape. And we haven't seen a lot of that in Nashville in the last few years.
Let me teach you how to
when
vibe.
you see the Tennessee Titans play, like, oh, he's a dude, outside of Jeffrey Simmons and, you know, Cam Ward whipping up some magic every now and then. You know, that's what I want to see in Nashville. I want to see some guys out there that look like Javon Kirsch, you know, freak athletes out there making plays. That's what I want to see. Size and speed. Yeah, players do seem like they already bought in though, Ocho, and that's a big thing.
Let me
He said
teach
the
you how
whole
to
coaching staff
vibe.
got to go ball head. Eric, what up? Yeah, this coaching, but I did the coaching carousel being so crazy. You know, like, I mean, 2-time, you're a Giant fan. Was you thinking, like, when they let Daboll go and how the season was going from Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart to Jameis Winston back to Jackson Dart, did you think that, you know, the season would end and y'all would have Harbaugh coaching y'all and Denard Wilson as the DC? Like, I know you couldn't have thought that that's how the season was going to end. So in the draft, on what side of the ball would you put your focus on? I gave up on my Raiders. We still don't have a head coach, but y'all could benefit like the Saints did last year. Kellen Moore won the Super Bowl, and then y'all got him late. So I mean, you gotta think Kubiak is still coaching for the
Let me
Seahawks.
teach you
Like,
how
that's
to
who I would be
vibe.
all in on, trying to get, you know, an offensive mind to come. Y'all got some talent on offense. Zay, you just need the right person to put y'all in the right direction. Me personally, I think now with the coaches we got in, like, it changed just so fast, right? If Dante Moore would have made a better showing in the CFP, I think that he would have came out. And y'all remember, it was a lot of people that disagreed
Let me
with me
teach
saying
you how to
the
vibe.
CFP has a lot to do with where people come out. Let's say Ty Simpson had a run like Mendoza, people would be talking about Ty Simpson different. You know, they scored 3 points against Indiana. You know, if Dante Moore goes crazy and gets to the championship and balls out, you know, people are talking about, you know, him potentially being the second pick overall to either the Jets or the Cardinals, right? He goes back to school. Chambliss goes back to school. Ty Simpson doesn't have a good showing in the CFP, and now it's just Mendoza at the top. And then now it's a good chance that 2 and 3 could be Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain. Like that, like, it just changed just that fast that the next 2 picks could come off, and it's you, the Tennessee Titans, thinking the whole time that you're probably going to get your pick of Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain. They both might be off the board, and Mike Berganzi has to have a plan in place. Last year they got Tyler Lockett right before the draft, and I think it impacted the way that they attacked the draft. You know, because I think that relieved the pressure of them feeling like they had to go get Luther Burden in the second, and they traded back and got Femi and Kevin Winston. I think that every position that they get in the draft, they just got to look at best player available. Can I trade back and get multiple picks? Especially if Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese is off the board. I really feel that way. But I do feel like they're going to get more free agents now that they got a solid coaching staff, though. So then that's the other side of it. Like, if you get Alec Pierce or Romeo Dobbs, or you get Wright or Tariq Woolen in free agent, or you get Adolfo Wade, Jalen Phillips, or Kayvon Thibodeau, you get one of those big free agents in one of those positions. You know, if Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain come off the board and they picked up Jalen Phillips, you know, in free agency, they wouldn't be thinking that they just got to sell out to get an edge. You might be saying, I like some guys in the Senior Bowl in the second or third. More experience. Corey, he said, what if Miss Amy hired the inexperienced coaches, Callahan's, Holds Denard on purpose to tank? That's too far-fetched. That's too far-fetched. Callahan was the hot offensive name coming out of that last coaching cycle that we took. I think the problem with Callahan was just Denard Wilson was a good pickup, but because obviously John Harbaugh is taking him to New York to coach the defense, and he made wine out of water in Nashville with the defense that was given to him. But you know, the Nick Holst and all that, like a bunch of inexperienced, Colt Anderson at special teams, like starting off, I just think there's too many inexperienced people. Then look at that staff compared to this staff. Robert Saleh's on his second run. He just left San Francisco. They had an incredible year where all their players was hurt and the defense still performed. Then Brian Daboll, we know he's a former coach of the year. We know his track record with coaching quarterbacks in the NFL. He's attached to probably 10 different good quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's gonna be your offensive coordinator, somebody that could easily be the head coach of the team. You know, so even when Callahan first got hired, you still would say Daboll would be better than everybody on our staff at the time. So when you look at what they bringing in, you know, they bringing in a lot more experience in how to do it. We up. He said Raiders need to bring back. I don't know if that's gonna happen. He said never in a million years thought you would get John. I mean, think about it. When season started this past year and the Titans was 0-4, and we knew that Callahan was getting fired and Rand had just got let go the year before, like there's no chance that Daboll is our offensive coordinator. Like 2 times. You a Giant fan, it's a couple Giant fans that's heavy in the chat. There's no chance that us talking preseason, off season starts that we're talking.
Let me teach you how to
Cam Ward,
vibe.
Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, right? Because we kind of is tied to y'all because people thought we should have drafted Abdul Carter and y'all was gonna get Cam Ward. Then y'all still wind up getting Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. You know, like we was talking players and rookies. We was talking Russell Wilson in the Cowboy game, not y'all head coach was gonna be our OC and John Harbaugh, and our DC would be in New York. That's crazy. Like, I don't think, like, if you could have said that was gonna happen, I need to shake your hand so I can win the lottery tomorrow, because you'd be Nostradamus if you knew that was gonna happen. Like, that's like otherworldly that actually turned out. He said, I appreciate you going live. If you enjoy the streams, make sure you tap in on YouTube, because I break these down into smaller chunks and put them on YouTube every morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I post date them, so they just go right up. You can rewatch it on YouTube, and then if you have any questions that I don't get to during the stream, or if you watch it when I'm not live and you go back, drop a question in the chat if y'all got a question, and then I'll put that part as the weekly mailbag. We'll probably do because you know NFL season over, I'll probably do the mailbag this weekend. As y'all know, my birthday is February 2nd. My birthday is coming up, so hopefully I get all my stuff in to where I can do the stream room makeover, and then drop that video too for y'all, because that's something I've been working hard on. Pause. He said Raiders head coach in the Super Bowl. I think so too. I think they'll benefit from not being part of the coaching search or being towards the end. He said the city's on fire and we've been snowed in. You feel me? Look, Corey, of all the trolls, I'm talking everybody who antagonized the Tennessee Titans, everybody is like literally having respect for what they've been able to do. And even if it doesn't work, I'm saying retaining Jeffrey Simmons, drafting Cam Ward in the draft that they had, clearing out the coaches, clearing out the GMs, bringing in Bergonzi and saying we now have a pecking order of how, you know, Burke Nihill's on the stadium, Chad Brinker's on the contracts and the money, Mike Bergonzi got the team. He's gonna pick the coach. He got Reggie and the boys helping him. You know, like everything that they did, the new stadium coming, getting Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll is just crazy. They knocked it out the park. Even if it don't work, they did every man. What's my man that they just got from the wide receiver coach? Like some of the guys that they got, I think are guys that are gonna step up and be coordinator levels after some guys move on. He said trade down and grab Love. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, Corey. But it's like, to me, is if Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain come off, you got to have a contingency plan. If Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain is there at 4, then I feel like you got to stick and pick. Unless you get somebody, like I said, you know, everybody was so high on Abdul Carter last year, and then James Pierce Jr. ran a 4.4 at edge rusher in the combine, and then the dude led all edge rushers as a rookie this past year, and it wasn't close. So I mean, if you get somebody to do some freak athlete type of thing like that, or you remember Xavier Worthy ran the fastest all-time 40, unless somebody does something like that, I do think you can see Nick Harbor get out there and run a 4.2 at 6'5", and it's gonna like blow the top off some people's head that ain't seen how athletic he is. I think the Titans at least play 500 ball this year. I'll take it. Now, if we hit a home run in the draft, we'll be decent. I mean, y'all gonna get Malik Neighbors, Scatterbo, and Dart back healthy with Harbaugh, and Harbaugh is gonna protect Dart. He ain't gonna have Dart out there just all willy-nilly. You feel me? So like, Denard Wilson's gonna get more out of y'all defense than what y'all was getting to. Y'all just need to go and let Kayvon Thibodeau walk to Nashville though. Caleb, what's good, my boy? Do Lamar get better, or is it past his time? It's definitely not past his time. I mean, when you think about this season, Lamar missed 6 weeks, and the plays he made to get them in field goal range at the end of that game, even with injured, like it's still Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, them still the boys, man. It's just Joe Burrow, like they coaching staff got to be smarter. Even the game when Lamar didn't play and Derrick Henry had like 200 yards rushing and had ran a touchdown with 11 minutes to go and didn't touch the ball to close the game out the last 12 minutes. It's stuff like that. Like I think they be overthinking it sometimes. 215. Aquarius season 2-2. Daughter's February 1st and yours 22nd. Mine is 2nd. My grandmother's was the 7th. Rest in peace. And my daughter's is the 13th. So, you know, that's Aquarius, you know, with the bringers of water. He said, why is it Titan fans think double the win total would not be as successful? You got to see, that's because they look at what the Bears did, obviously what Vrabel done, you know, and they start thinking like it can be done. Like the Tennessee Titans, you know, can win a lot of games. But my thing is like, I like how Cam Ward speaks. I like how Jeffrey Simmons speaks. I like how Robert Saleh speaks. It's let's get better today. Let's get the best out of today. And that's been my thing this year is let me get the most production I can get out of each day and stack days. And when we look back at it, that might turn into a bounce back season. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, look at the Bears last year. The Bears last year lost a lot of close games and people was writing Caleb Williams off, even though he had good numbers for the season. Then you bring in a coach that solidifies what they're doing, and you don't have a defensive back shooting birds to the crowd while a Hail Mary is going on behind him and his man catch the touchdown. So it's like, look at the Bears and Commanders. The Commanders beat the Bears on a Hail Mary when a player was cussing out the crowd and then turned around and realized his man caught the touchdown. You know, like flip-flop, Jaden Daniels and Austin Eckler get hurt. Scary Terry get hurt. They lost a few key players, Jeremy Chin and a few other people. And then the Commanders are picking 6th in this draft after being in the NFC Championship versus the Eagles last year. Like, you know, all it was the bad luck that the Bears had in all those close games last year turned into this year. The Bears won a bunch of close games. You know, it's just that simple. Like, look at the Titans. Titans got the lead in Denver. at halftime, J.C. Latham gets hurt. They take L'Jarius Sneed out the game. Brian Callahan has a oof before half with the clock management, and the Broncos score right before half with L'Jarius Sneed out of the game, and the Titans wind up losing that game, and you lose J.C. Latham for the next 6 weeks. Then you think about the Rams game. The Titans have the lead late in the game, and then they just lose their mind a couple times on fourth down. Puka Nacua runs a 60-yard reverse where guys are completely lost, and then they wind up getting blown out in the fourth. Then you look at the Colts game, completely got ran out the building, and then the Texans, the Titans is it's like a one possession game. It's like a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. It's 3rd down and 33, and L'Jarius Sneed get dunked on by the player that he said he didn't know who he was, Nico Collins. So it's like you get into those games and say, even as bad as they was and as bad as they was coached and as lack of talent that they had, they still like bit themselves in the foot to start the season off. And then, you down 0-4, you demote your coach and you fire your coach, and you don't start bouncing back to after the bye week. It's like, that's what happens in the NFL. So you can't just be like all about the results. It's got to be the process. Some wanted Sam Darnold, but I think the homegrown champion is better. The thing about bringing in Sam Darnold is we probably would have won a few more games, but long term, it would have been a bad situation. See, think about what the Seahawks did. They got Sam Darnold cheaper than Geno Smith, because Sam Darnold is only getting like $66 million guaranteed in 3 years on a $100 million deal. So he had a front loaded contract, and then they drafted Jalen Milroe. So it's like they already have the heir apparent to Sam Darnold after his run is over. Sam Darnold would have been a good QB to come in when Tannehill left, in that type of situation where you still had Derrick Henry and a few people around. When you starting and going over from scratch, getting Sam Darnold, and then he would have been out there throwing to Tyler Lockett and Chim DK and Elmont. Like, okay, we won 3 games again this year. Will we win 5 or 6 and get Sam Darnold killed? We don't have Jackson Smith and Jigba. we don't have Cooper Kupp as our second wide receiver. We don't have Horton. We don't have Shaheed. We don't have Charbonnet and K9. Like, we didn't have as much infrastructure as they got. Expert, what up? February game, he said definitely stick and pick if Reese and Bain are there. Yeah, it makes it simple if they're there. But the Jets got 2 first-round picks. Jets can pick the best defensive player they see on the board, and then pick Ty Simpson at the bottom of the first. Or they could even wait a little bit, and they could look for the diamond in the rough quarterback. Or they could be the team that tries to get Mac Jones or Kyler Murray or somebody. Who knows what the Jets got up their sleeve, because Aaron Glenn can't afford to start this season off over, because he's gonna be up out of there. Not sure if your question came through. Is it the one about the double win total? I just spent like 5 minutes on it. Titans need the quickest draftees. Not the quickest. I mean, if they do decent in free agency with supplementing what's there by, like, if you look at my draft, my free agent plan I got on YouTube, if y'all go check my last one out. If you get Deshaun Wright from the Bears, if you get a Kayvon Thibodeau or Jalen Phillips at edge in offseason and bring back Jahar Ward, if you able to groom Jackson Slater to play right guard instead of saving him for center, if you go get a Kyle Pitts or Isaiah Likely or bring Chig back, if you get an Alec Pierce or a Romeo Doubs at receiver on the outside, you don't have to just like go for the guy that's gonna make instant impact on the team. You can get somebody that's gonna develop for the best player in time, like Femi was. Like Femi and Kevin Winston was 2 players that we got that we knew were not gonna make us better day one. Why? Kevin Winston was not ready to go. We knew he wasn't gonna be ready to go the first probably quarter of the season based on his workload. And then Femi, we knew he was a stand-up linebacker that was being groomed to play a new position at edge. So we knew these were two guys that's not going to be like first team rookie all of the, like we knew that year 2 and year 3, Kevin Winston Jr. and Femi Oladejo might be some complete dogs because physically they're gifted. You know, it's like they just need to heal and learn the positions that they're going to be put in. Like Kevin Winston Jr. could be like Emmett Ward if he's healthy. You know, you could take, you know, Femi could be like, if you've seen Femi physically, you know, like I don't think there's a physically, you know, far as the tools in the bag, like bro looked like he been running in the Congo or some shit. He said, I'm ready for that fast and violence. He said we getting all the Ravens free agents. I heard that y'all was fighting with Monken about trying to pull players. He said Brady was 43 when he got his last Super Bowl. Lamar got time. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. Reason why I disagree is Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, it's still their time. Because look how long Stafford is still being at elite level. But they're going to find themselves in a position where, like, the Bills have got rid of McDermott after 10 years and upgraded Joe Brady to head coach. It's only going to be so much time that they continue to put resources as if they have the patience for it. You know, Joe Burrow haven't been in the playoffs in 3 years after making the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. John Harbaugh had Lamar hurt for like almost 2 months and still should have made the playoffs, which would have gave us an extra 4th round pick. And he gets let go after 20 years. Mike Tomlin gets like never had a losing season in 20 years. But now I think the bridge for McCarthy is going to be short, because if you bring back Aaron Rodgers and delay the progress of building a quarterback in Pittsburgh, and you bringing in a new coach in Baltimore, they're not expected, you know, Joe Brady and these guys, they're not expected to come in and have time. They're going to expect these guys to come in with world-class players and win now. You know, like nobody talked about Andy Reid in the season that they had and the Chiefs. Mahomes getting hurt on the last drive of their season and the Chiefs not making the playoffs. But what starts to happen is, okay, is it Kelsey's time over? Is it this person's time over? And the whole roster might flip, and they might wind up doing the thing that Matt Stafford did, is leaving Detroit and then winning on the Rams. Or it might be the Sam Darnold going from the teams he went to the Vikings in 14 wins and going to the Seahawks, and now he's in the Super Bowl. It might be where one of these teams that wouldn't dare think about trading Josh Allen or Lamar or Joe Burrow a few years ago might try to get the mother load. You know, like, you know, it sounds crazy, but you know, there might be the Jets or somebody saying we'll give up these 2 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you crazier things have happened. You might see one of them teams, you know, saying we'll give up 2 first rounds to go get this quarterback we feel like needs the new home that could win it now. He said we're gonna fill him from the couch. I believe he's gonna go get George Pickens. I don't think George Pickens is the get, and let me tell you why. Mike Bergonzi and Robert Saleh has been all about like culture and locker room. Now, George Pickens had a crazy year in Dallas with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. I don't think Jerry Jones is gonna let a player like George Pickens walk. I think he's gonna franchise tag him and then pay him. I don't think that George Pickens, like talent wise, off the board, but I don't think he's the guy. I think with Cam Ward, I want to see them, you know, I mean, I've been over this 1,000 times, but Denzel Boston, Jacoby Lane, Jeremy Bernard, KC Concepcion, Zachariah Branch, Malachi Fields, Nick Harbor, Chris Brazel. Like, bro, it's gonna be like, even some of these guys in Super Bowl, in the Senior Bowl, it's gonna be 10 to 15 nice receivers in that second to third round, going into the fourth. Obviously, we got Tim DK and A.L. Monitor and Gunnar Helm in the fourth last year. The Chargers got Arundel Gasson in the fifth. I'd rather grow young players, and if I wanted to go out and make a splash in free agency, I would, if I wasn't gonna bring back Chig, I'd be looking at Kyle Pitts or Isaiah Likely to pair with Gunnar Helm, to where you could flex one of those tight ends and just dunk. Because Cam Ward needs people with catch radius, and we also need a receiver that's twitchy. Since Brian Callahan and them 5,000 orbit motion bubble screens to Tyler Lockett 10 yards deep that never work. Like, I'd like to see the Titans have a decent screen game with the way Cam can throw off an angle and off schedule. That, if you put a little screen game and a little RPO with his skill set of moving him in the pocket, like, we need that twitchy Makai Lemon, KC Concepcion. You see some of the guys I said in the Senior Bowl, like late round, Brarian Brown. Some of these dudes is just twitchy. Zachariah Branch, like, these dudes gonna make people miss in space. I'm just hoping with all these experienced coach high players, we start to break out. I think all our rookies broke out last year. I can't, outside of Jackson Slater, I can't think of nobody who didn't show that, they had it. And then even the year two guys, Cedric Gray and James Williams made some plays. Marcus Harris, like everybody that we had that was a first or second year player, showing progress under Mike McCoy. So I can't expect but it to get even better. I'd like to see more out of Tavondre Sweat. Said more Pro Bowlers, All Pro. I mean, having two first All Pros that played on a team that won 3 games back-to-back years is pretty good, though, even with what we had. I think more other guys will get more recognition if the Titans are winning games, though. Lack, what up? They said, I think Lamar getting traded to the Raiders draft night and Mendoza going to the Ravens. That would be a shakeup for sure. That would be a shakeup for sure. First game in the new stadium. I'm already going. I'm making plans. Okay, KT. He said, I think Dabo will help Spears in that screen game. I thought they did decent getting Spears the ball second half of the season, but I want to see wide receivers catch the ball in space to run it, not just running backs in the screen game. Like, the Titans have, if you watch the Titans, they have been the worst wide receiver screen team that I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how they haven't been able to make it work, but I don't think I've ever seen the Titans be good in the screen game, like throwing to wide receivers. I think that's something that definitely has to improve. Good teams screen it. Like, every time I seen orbit motion this year, my stomach just churned. I think the Raiders coach is going to be coaching in the Super Bowl. Honestly. But I agree with y'all. Like, I do think that there's going to be a lot of people moved around it. Like, if we had 10 different coaches change and the longest 10-year coaches in the NFL, from McDermott to Mike Tomlin to Harbaugh, all moving, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some blockbuster trades. I mean, there's some teams out here that can't be happy with, like the Vikings that won 14 games last year, can't be happy where they sit. The Bengals haven't made the playoffs in 3 years, can't be happy with where they sit. The Chiefs have got to be fired up and mad as a hornet. they're not even making the playoffs. From going to the Super Bowl to not making the playoffs is wild. The Commanders are going to be fighting back. Cowboys got 2 first-round picks. Browns got 2 first-round picks. Jets got 2 first-round picks. The Rams have 2 first-round picks. I mean, it's a lot of teams that I think are going to be looking to shake things up. Like the Colts got a decision to make at QB with Steichen, what they're going to do there. Is Daniel Jones going to be able to get back to 100% next season with the injuries that he had, something that you can't rush. And then, Anthony Richardson's last year, obviously Davis Mills, Mac Jones, Will Levis. It's a lot of QBs under contract that people might trade for. Joe Milton on Dallas. I guess a lot of teams that got, backups that are that might be sought after. Then you could be the Raiders. Do the Raiders take Mendoza, or like my man said, did they make a trade? But you got to remember, like that trading Mendoza for Lamar kind of is odd, because Lamar has a big contract and Geno Smith is still sitting at $37 million due guaranteed next year from the Raiders. So like them drafting a rookie offsets the money for them, and it lets Geno Smith's contract expire. In the best case scenario for the Raiders would be drafting Mendoza, and then halfway through the season before the bye, some team being desperate, needing a veteran backup to keep things going, and somebody trade for Geno Smith, and maybe they get a 6th or a 7th round pick for offloading that contract, and they just split the money to get from out from under it. It's a lot of teams. Like the Cardinals got to make a quarterback decision within the next 6 weeks, and they have to hire their coaching staff. It's some teams that got a lot of moves to make. So I expect it to be a lot of trading and things going around. And then we've seen the Senior Bowl, on top of the Senior Bowl, we got to see the combine with 40 times and strength and like all that stuff. Something unexpected is going to happen. But if y'all do be wanting to tap in tonight, when I cut the Facebook and the YouTube live on Kick and Twitch, make sure y'all follow me on Kick. We'll go watch some of the Senior Bowl highlights and see who been cutting up. I can't do it on YouTube and Facebook, but on those other platforms I can. Dun, 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 dun. Before they tear the stadium down, I like to. My wife asked if I want to go to a game this year, and I was just like, I think it was like right around the time they fired Callahan. I was like, man, run the ball. Why do you want to see Chig run the ball? I don't want to see Chig run the ball. For one, he's not going to be due over $10 million as a free agent. 3, I don't think they're going to bring him back, even though he didn't miss a game in 4 years. But I Chig Okonkwo running the football. Tony Pollard is getting $9 million next year. Tajay Spears was a top 100 pick draft and free agency. It'll probably be another back added. So I definitely don't want to see Chig Okonkwo run the football. I want to see him catch the football wherever he's at. Ravens Joe. I wonder if they'll let people keep chairs before they blow it up. They gonna what it do? Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson would come to Tennessee with Dabo coming here. Man, Jameis Winston, immaculate. Right, if Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston was the backup for Cam Ward, bro, I would be. Not so much as Russell Wilson, but, and that goes back to my go up this morning. It was something going on with YouTube. It never processed. So like that'll go up sometimes this week, but it was basically to trade Will Levis. And in that I addressed that you have to trade Will Levis after he's healthy to get a draft pick out of him. You don't get the first pick in the second round, but if you can get a late 4th or 5th or 6th, it would suffice. And then sign one of these veterans like you mentioned, Jameis Winston or Mariota or somebody as a quality backup behind Cam Ward, a locker room guy, not named Brandon Allen or Tim Boyle. So we got to nail free agency so we can be more flexible in there. I agree, but I think like you can't be the Titans and do bad team tax and get Dan Moore, you know, like $82 million. Like, it can't be that, but it can be, you know, guys that'll supplement the team. Like Xavier Woods and Sebastian Joseph Day, to me, they exemplify what you want in a free agent. Like Van Jefferson wasn't great, but Van Jefferson was worth $1.6 million. You know, Sebastian Joseph Day, Xavier Woods led the team in interceptions in the secondary, you know, for $4 million. Like when you add in players like that, like Jahad Ward was worth his weight in gold with all the turnover we had at the edge position, from Femi getting hurt to Arden Key to Draymond Jones being traded, you know, having Truman Jones and Jalen Harrell called up to be edge rushers. Like I think Jahad Ward was probably the most solid on the edge all year. And you get this guy for $1 million, you know, like that. They have to have. Darrell Baker Jr. is a good, flexible free agent guy to have. Not your cornerback 1 or 2, but I'm saying like a guy that can step in and play, because you know when you get down to Samuel Womack, Garden JSN, and Jalen Armour Davis, and Sanusi Kane and Eric Hallett and Kendall Brooks, like when you get down that far, Kamon Hall, like we was down bad at one point, you know what I'm saying? So I think you just got to put a better 53. They only got like 34 players that's under contract that's gonna be coming back, that's like not a practice squad person. So, you know, between the draft and free agency, they probably got to add like 20, 25 people, maybe even 30. So yeah, that's a lot of people to sign. So I agree with you. They just got to be, you can take a splash if you get an Alec Pierce. You could take a splash if you got a Kyle Pitts. You know, you could take a splash, maybe Breece Hall. You could take a splash at Edge, Kayvon Thibodeau, Jalen Phillips, Adolfo Way, Boy Mafe, some of those type of guys. You could take a splash at corner, Nashawn Wright, Tariq Woolen, Alontae Taylor. You could take some splashes at some places like that, but I don't see like I don't want them to be throwing 25 million, 30 million at one of these receivers. Nick Singleton got hurt during Senior Bowl practice. I don't know how serious it is. That's tough. That's one of my late round running backs. You know, I had my eye on Nick Singleton. Q was popping. Jesse Minter had a good press conference earlier. I didn't get a chance to see it. Q, how was it? You know, I was all solid in. Heard Titans are getting a new logo with the new uniform. I wonder when they'll unveil them. I think they're gonna wait until they open the new stadium. Coop was popping, man. Say, let me show you. There is a guy on Twitter that I follow that does a lot of artwork, like freelance type of artwork, involving the Titans, and his name is James Ryan. And I think James Ryan makes the best mock-ups of, y'all can follow him on Twitter. But I'm about to show y'all his mock-ups. To me, are the best looking Titan mock-ups that I see, for a new style of logo that the Tennessee Titans may go for. Because I always want to make sure I give credit to the person that came up with this stuff. You know, some people just try to steal people's ideas and people's art, and you know that ain't right. But this is his. This is James Ryan's mock-up of what they think the new Titans logo. I just tweeted the Titans, like, get that man a check. Like, if he just sat at his house and came up with this, and you got the Oilers and you still got the two-tone blue with the Titans with the red clash in it, And I've been hearing they want to get away from the flame, and you put the 3 stars with the Titan, and then he's got a version of it where it is he got a version of the logo that is the Titan star, without the flames and just more of a simplified, cleaner look, because they kind of retired the Oilers. Like, I think that's cold. That's tough, bro. Like, sign me up. My Shotbybuddha jersey will go in the shadow box with the new camera angle when I do the stream room makeover. The Shotbybuddha blue navy jersey that y'all always see me in will be retired, and it'll be on the wall back there next to Eddie George. Seeing as I can't have a Steve McNair autographed jersey, that's just not a thing. Like, I got my Eddie George. Shout out to my boy for sending me that Eddie George. But like, listen, brother, that Buddha jersey is getting retired if they drop something like this, because like I can't begin to tell you how excited I would be to see Cam Ward rocking this new 2-tone blue with the red. I mean, bruh, I'm just getting in the new stadium, break those out, primetime game against the Jaguars. Robert Saleh go over and slap Liam Cohen and tell him how to say Duval right, and then put belt on them and take back the South. Man, you want to talk about you want to talk about flexing? Like, then that's a flex. But yeah, that's James Ryan on Twitter. Like, dude do good work though. So I definitely always have to give respect where respect is due. Every time I see him make up a mock-up or something,
Let me teach you how to
involving the Titans,
vibe.
I think he do it the best. You know what I'm saying? I had to take my hat off and tip my hat to him. Definitely a great change on the NASCAR right now. What you been on though, Coop? I'm sorry we took y'all coach. Super clean. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just think that the Titans, new stadium, new coaching staff, new culture, new players, $120 million in cap space, some picks, some new picks coming in. I think the Titans might be up, and I'll probably get a new. I don't like white because drink coffee and eat snacks. I have the white to be dirty, so I definitely had to get the one of the blue versions of that jersey. That'd be tough. And then if they had like an alternate color rush red, that would be too crazy. They had a color rush red of that'd be too crazy. He said the silver/gray never really fit with the current color scheme. Yeah, I mean, you remember when we had them Reeboks and them Puma jerseys? Man, that's how the current jerseys been kind of looking, man. Current jerseys kind of been ass, to be honest, bro. Like, I remember the last time we was talking about getting jerseys in the chat. I remember I had that was around the time I had got that Buddha jersey made. I got that jersey made at the stadium, and it was like my birthday or something. I had went into Nashville in Bob's Barn Street in Nashville, and that was the last trip that I took before my grandma had, when she was alive. But it's like, this is crazy. This is crazy because Keith Thomas had got a brand new AJ.
Oh shit, here we go again.
KT had just got that brand new white AJ Brown jersey and never got to wear it, man. That's like one of the most tragic Titan things ever. Damn, man. Everybody said a prayer for KT's AJ Brown Titan white jersey. It was crispy too. That jersey was crispy too. They said they did something different with it, but I just like the 2-tone blue and the red. I just think, if you're gonna do something different, that Oilers kind of look with it with the red, because Cam liked to wear the red cleats and Big Jeff liked the red sleeve. I just think that's just a cold accent. He said all silver gray jersey with blue accents. it had me feeling too close to Cowboy. I don't want nothing like that ugly ass gray the Cowboys got. But I seen one that had that silver kind of that you talking about though. Maybe that'd be like the Nike rivalry, like almost look like a camo or something. That would be tough for the Nike rivalry. That would be. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh my goodness. And if they do these color schemes, do you know how dirty the new hats is gonna be? I gotta give me new trucker. I gotta have some new trucker hats if they gonna do that, bro. The draft hat was nice this year. The only part they made me mad is the snapback version. The adjustable versions of the draft hat don't have the guitar on it. Only the fitted hats had the guitar. It's like, bro, how y'all gonna make a version with the guitar on it, and then you ain't gonna put the guitar on the adjustable hat? Like, who's still wearing them old school ass fitteds? Like, we wear adjustable hats now, bro. Like, can we get the guitar on the draft hat? He said Saleh Manders. He said definitely don't want to look like the Cowboys. Oh yeah, Joe, we ready. Our coach look like he can fight too, man. I need somebody gonna roll their sleeves up and get in there. You feel me? And y'all know I'm a defensive minded person, so getting a guy like Robert Saleh, like I'm salivating at having some good DBs that don't play 15 yards off the ball and still give up 20-yard, 30-yard catches. Y'all know it's gonna look like to blitz somebody and get an interception. Did y'all realize Roger McCreary is the only cornerback that had an interception for the Titans this season? Xavier Woods had 2, Cody Barton had 3 at safety and linebacker. Like, no corners that ended it. When we ended the season, there was no corner on the roster outside of Roger McCreary that had an interception. That's just a joke. I bought the Oiler blue home jersey. D-Hop only got to wear it for that year. I'm still gonna bump that. Yeah, I mean, look, to me, D-Hop did what he had to do. D-Hop's best year in the last 5 years was with the Titans. He went to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, but he didn't have numbers with the Chiefs. He went to the Ravens and went to the meaningful football, but he ain't had no stats on the Ravens. And then when he was on the Cardinals before he got to the Titans, them was down years for him. His best years in the last 5 years was with the Titans. So you gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Keep that jersey, man. That. I still be rocking my Mariota jerseys. I never got a Tannehill. I got Derrick Henry. Like, I think if y'all had to pick one of the rookies to buy a jersey of one of the rookies not named Cam Ward, who would y'all get? It's too easy to get a Cam Ward jersey. But if you had to get one of the rookies not named Cam Ward, who jersey would you get? You would get Alec. I like Kevin Winston. I think Kevin Winston might turn into a complete goon. I might be just overly optimistic, but I think Kevin Winston Jr. gonna turn into a goon, bro. He said Levis unlocked D-Hop. Yeah, because Tannehill was never gonna throw on the ball. I got Amana already because my favorite number is 5. I got a feeling though, if they have a good draft in free agency, Amana is gonna be the new NWI. Now, to be fair, y'all know one of my favorite Titans in the last little bit is I go to bat for NWI. So it's like I have certain Titans that I like that other people just don't be high on, but like I have my Titans I like. Winston Jr. is my next ones for obvious reasons. Why? Because he went to Sandusky University, home of the showers. AKA don't drop the soap. He said DK would kind of look suspect on the back. I know everybody's gonna say that, like he need to his jersey need to say Chim on the back, like a small C and HIM, like Chim. Like they need to come up with something, because I could. Oh man. Ocho Man said Winston. I seen a Greek Titan shield. Yeah, that's from whatchamacallit. He do some mock-up stuff, but to me James stuff is it be look a little colder than brush stuff. Cause it's more simple and clean. And then somebody had leaked the picture where you get the PSLs that logo with the 3 stars and the T with the circle is lit up on one of them walls. So like I think what James Ryan got is the real thing. I think they need to cut bro a check though. I seen that one you talking about though. I think that's kind of corny though, putting some Greek stuff. They say he an all pro player, but it's the name on the back though, man. What you mean? Like it's a player. His name is Chimray DK. Like, nah, your jersey say, it's like, hey, listen, man, it's 2 people in this universe you can't mess with, and that's them 2 sets of people. You can't mess with you can't mess with those 2. Like, you see the rainbow flag, you see that white flag with that blue star, like you can't touch them. You can't joke about them. You can't talk about them. You just leave them alone, cuz. So, hey, listen, you can legitimately go to the fan shop on NFL.com and get a Chimray DK jersey and then get canceled for wearing it. Like that's the type of time we live in these days, where things are so fickle that Bill Belichick won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer in the NFL, and Cam Newton won't be a first ballot college football Hall of Fame person, and then we'll be sitting here and get arrested for wearing a Chimray DK jersey. You know what I'm saying? I don't be looking at them dudes, Rick. I just think a lot of them dudes be trolling. I don't be looking at their mocks. I do a mock on stream every day. You go back on my page, I got a mock for every week for the last 20 weeks, and all these players that they gonna try to tell y'all about, I done already been in stream, put the mock up, mocked it with y'all watching live, told y'all why I picked them, and then the people that y'all haven't heard of that I picked, I go on a late night stream on Kick and Twitch and I show y'all their game film and tell you, does this person not jump off the field when you look at tape of them? Like, so I don't be looking at none of them national dudes mocks. It ain't but a handful of people that I can respectfully watch any of their content and learn something. Respectfully. He said if Femi gets developed, I'll be so happy. He was starting to come along before he got injured. I think they kind of had him in a role where he was hard setting the edge. But if you remember, go back and look at it. As soon as he came out of the lineup, we started getting cooked on the run. Like people started running off tackle on us when Femi came out the lineup. He said Winston probably NWI was reliable, ran good routes, had a good hands, not explosive though. Is he a free agent? I think he's still under contract with Miami. Saleh could unlock Femi. Yeah, that's why. In all my mocks, if Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese is off the board, the Titans need to trade back. If you trade back and you get extra top 100 picks and future picks, and you end up with Jeremiah Love, or you end up with one of the receivers that didn't get picked, then you get to add a second or a third round receiver or cornerback with that. That's way more valuable than I just don't think there's a Tetroa Macmillan in this draft. You know, like Carnell Tate he might turn out to be a dog. He might be another Ohio State prodigy. But if it ain't Jeremiah Smith, I'm not burning the 4th pick. If it was Jeremiah Smith, I would get up on stage and help them turn in the card. But it's not, you know, so in my mind, like, Titans got so many holes they need to trade back if their guy that's gonna game wreck is not there at 4. Because you got to ask yourself the question, if you stick and pick Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson, they better turn out to be Puka Nacua or Jackson Smith and Jigga, because if they not, and you could have got Chris Brazel or Jacoby Lane or Denzel Boston and paired them with Zachariah Branch or somebody for what you could have got, nah, I'm good. Because really outside of edge rusher, like Titans, whatever position they pick, if you're not picking best overall player, which is Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love, then you're going to kind of be reaching a little bit at 4. So people thought it was a reach, and Tetroa Macmillan fell a few. The Panthers, like, I don't see any of them guys doing what he put on tape. Like Tetroa Macmillan was doing backflips and catching the ball one at 6'5". So I mean, I don't see them doing it. And then Travis Hunter, the Jaguars traded their 1st round pick this year to the Browns to get him. You know, Travis Hunter was a Heisman 2 ways freak athlete. If the Jaguars would have just played him at receiver all year, he'd be a 1,000-yard receiver. So I was like, I don't see that type of talent. They might be good, but I don't see that type of talent. Jordan Tyson actually got a higher ceiling to me than Carnell Tate. But hey, man, he got injury histories too. David Bailey not at 4. Bro, like James Pierce Jr. ran a 4.4 at edge last year in the combine, and he did not go 4th at edge. Like I'm saying, like for me, sticking and picking at 4 is like think about where Jared Verse got picked. Think about like Dallas Turner, like some of these real goons you knew was gonna be a goon. Guys is falling out of the top 10, and we just dying to draft David Bailey. No. Trade out of 4 and give me TJ Parker and Zion Young instead of Bailey with the picks that I'll get back from him. You telling me that David Bailey is gonna be better than having TJ Parker and Zion Young or Dennis Sutton? Or come on, right? That's how I see it when I do my mocks. Is if it ain't just some game change, like the Browns last year, they traded out of 2. They got the Jags 1st round pick this year and they 1st round pick, and they took Mason Graham, Carson Schlesinger, the Judkins, Harold Fanning, Shadur. Like they got a mother load in the top 100, and they got 2 1st rounds this year. To me, you know, like if it ain't somebody just gonna change your franchise, like that's what you do at that spot. James Williams might take a leap. Who you think takes the biggest leap on defense? I like James Williams to get on the field a lot more. I think Kevin Winston might turn into that guy. Kevin Winston or Femi might turn into that guy this year. Like really, really, really that guy. Yeah, I mean Jacoby is nice. Wandale in free agency. See, people been thinking Alec Pierce and Dobbs, they might go Wandale and just add Wandale in the slot and then just draft a goon in the 2nd round. Like let's say Jacoby Lane or Chris Brazel, Malachi Fields or Nick Harbor or somebody, they draft a big physical outside target and then bring in Wandale with Amon DK and Restrepo. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, Joe Blacko. Titans sign center Trey Hill to future reserves. That might let you know that Jackson Slater might be our starting right guard if they trying to groom people for center. If they trying to groom people for center. And then because some of y'all don't be around, I'll show y'all what my last YouTube mock looked like. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep begging and hanging on to y'all ankles and try to get y'all to go to my YouTube and watch these videos, but I can't do y'all a solid and say this what my free agency and off season plan was like a few weeks ago. This is before the CFP. I stick and picked and had Ruben Bain, obviously Jeff Simmons and T Sweat come back, Marcus Harris back to the slot. I signed Deshaun Wright in free agency. I brought back Darrell Baker. I took Keontae Scott and Dalen Everett in the draft. Brought back Sebastian Joseph Day. Obviously, that's Ravenel and James Lynch is practice squad guys that could play those backup roles. You got Xavier Woods last year, his contract. Kevin Winston is your starting free safety hook. You know, I got Xavier Nwampa in the 7th round. Dude is a big, fast, physical safety. I like dude. In the 7th round, Jacob Rodriguez, I drafted him along with obviously having Cody Barton and Cedric Grayback, James Williams right there, Truman Johnson, Jalen Harrell. Femi is back, and I picked up Kayvon Thibodeau in free agency. Now, if you telling me we do something like this on defense with Robert Saleh running it, this is before CFP and everything. This is like old mocks. You know, when I traded back in the second, I got Chris Braza, Zachariah Branch. I did not go after a wide receiver in free agency. Tim DK, Aomana Restrepo back. I drafted Jamari Taylor late as a running back to go behind Pollard, Spears, and Mullen, because Pollard and Spears on contract years. Like, they're gonna be running like their life depend on it for the bag. So you're gonna be able to utilize that up into the bye week and have Khalil Mullins healthy with Jamari Taylor, which is, like, to me, one of the most productive backs in see it. Like, you know, he got Virginia to ACC title. You know, like, dude's super productive if you go watch his tape. Because I like Raleek Brown, but Raleek Brown went into the portal and went to Texas. I brought Marcus Mariota as my backup. I drafted Marlon Klein at tight end to go behind Gunnar Helm and play with DMR. I got the left tackle from Indiana, Carter Smith, in the later rounds. And then I just moved Jackson Slater to right guard. I brought back Corey Levin and then Udo as my swing. And obviously Moss is still signed the contract, and Corey Levin can swing. Corey Levin can play left guard, center, or right guard as a backup. But I mean, that's what I did with my free agent plan. This is how my draft board looked. I don't think I missed nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I got some future guys. I got some guys, and we still got a lot of cap space. And with that cap space, Big Jeff need to get a huge extension. And then you need to extend Peter Skoronski already and go and get Cuz a bag, because he our best offensive lineman. So that's kind of what I did with that. If you want to go watch the whole video, it's on the tube. But you know. Zachariah Branch has grown on me. Won't be surprised if he slid up to the back of the first. Bro, T-Town Brown, I told Branch when people were still crying about Lemon and Casey, I'm like, bro, if y'all watch Zachariah Branch, this man is like a world champion track athlete, and he just got that twitch and aggressiveness. Like, he don't go down easy too. He kind of run like a running back with the ball. You know, how in the open field, that's how Zachariah Branch look. John, what's popping? Coach, what you think I think of him, John?
Shotbybuddha Facebook came in the
We in the home run higher. Do you think really would come back and play? Or Snead? Nah. Man, the thing about it is, like, I like Reed. Reed's a Bama boy. And I think Reed, things just haven't worked out. But Reed is due $28 million. And I want Reed to get his bag. But I'm saying, like, if you the Tennessee Titans and you starting over fresh and you get a chance at June, get to cut him, give him his bag, and try to start fresh, come into this year trying to reset, and your number one receiver is getting almost 30 million. And like, what is Reed's ceiling with You know, like we know what he's capable of, but realistically, right now, Red should be playing the slot. You know how Cooper Kupp play for the Seahawks. How Cooper Kupp ain't the first option. He's the slot, but you know Cooper Kupp is like 3 years, 45 million. Like he ain't 8. You know, so when you think about 28, you think about George Pickens. You think about T. Higgins. You think about some of them free agent guys like that are monsters. You know, and I don't think that, even though he's a great route runner and got speed, like I just don't see that from. And Snead, Mike Bergonzi and Veach is the ones that sent Snead to the Titans that we had to trade back with to get Femi and get Kevin Winston to get that pick back. You know, so the guy who sent Snead to Nashville is now our GM. So I think, you know, when you rehabbing and he's already won a Super Bowl, I don't know what his motivation is in Nashville, but you know, as good as a be at his height, I just, you know, a guy that was out on IR and allegedly indicted for alleged being the driver of a drive-by shooting. I just don't know if you got Robert Saleh and Daboll and a new staff coming in, if they're gonna bank the house on Red and Snead, you know, because you know ultimately those was Rand moves. Even Tavondre Sweat, if he don't come back from Dallas with Jeffrey Simmons, you know, looking like look low for real, you know, and then you know there's a situation that everybody that didn't come under Bergonzi on their way out. Some dogs, Rick. So it's like that's my building the team. I'm saying I need some dogs. I need some people that when I'm watching the tape and when I'm watching the film on these guys, like these guys is making people miss in the open field. These guys that's aggressive at the catch point. These is DBs who not getting dunked on. You know, these is DBs that's coming up making plays, putting the seatbelt on. Edge rushers that's winning their ones and helping. It's like you see when Draymond Jones got into his bag, he was getting a sack every game playing next to Jeff. And that's what you want. But you need that on both sides. Imagine if the Titans got that on both sides. You got T Sweat and Big Jeff in the middle, and you got Femi and somebody else really eating on both sides to the point where if you had Ruben Bain third down and you took T Sweat off the field and played Bain inside and Jeff outside, you have Femi on the other side, and maybe you had Jalen Phillips or Thibodeau or somebody, and they just standing around the line of scrimmage, and Cody Barton walk up. Man, you don't know who coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it might be Kevin Winston off the edge. Like that's what I want to see from the Titans, able to just wreck people and get after it. Like when you watch the Broncos play, the Patriots, the Seahawks, you watch like the Texans. When you watch the good teams, like they send 4, maybe 5, and your quarterback ain't got time to think. Like the only thing about re-signing Chig is I've been saying all year they should have signed Chig early. They should have tagged him, gave him some money guaranteed to like in bonus to lock him up. You know, they could have did a 3-year $20 million deal and gave him some bread up front. But now our most productive pass catcher in the last 4 years, just about, and he led the team in run after catches and yards again. You know, dude's gonna get 10+ million like Jono did when he left. So, you know, if you start talking about over $10 million at tight end, we all saying that Gunnar Helm is tight end 1. So if that's the case, and you're gonna spend money at tight end, I would think like if you was gonna spend that type of money, it's got to be Kyle Pitts or Isaiah Likely because of their size and athleticism. Not the best run blocker, you know. So that's why in my draft, if I'm not bringing Chig back, give me Marlon Klein from Michigan. Give me 6'6", 250. You know, that's gonna be like the guy who running around. You know how Kraft is for Green Bay when he healthy. You know, like give me one of them. Where you said two twin tight ends and we moving the pile and we turn around and facing up. and dunking.
Let me teach you how to
Yeah, I don't think Red is reliable enough at 28 million. Mean, what up, my boy? Like, so that's why I think they can't just be thirsty with these free agents. But I think where you could be thirsty at, Tariq Woolen, Nashawn, the Bears cornerback room is overloaded. I think that's where you could win it. Kevin Byard is a free agent again. Hey, put Kevin Byard there free and let Winston play in the box. Because if you look at Emin Warrior, most of his snaps come in the box. I think he only had like 10 snaps at free safety. They play him in the slot and in the box the whole time. Like they could be potentially doing something Winston. What's good, King Fred?
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Like it's a lot of things that they could do, and I think they got the coaching staff to do it. But I'm so ready for the combine, the Senior Bowl, getting to watch a little bit more tape. So if y'all not following me on Kick, make sure y'all follow me on Kick, because when I end this shop talk, I'll go back live after like about a few minute reset, and then we'll watch some of the Senior Bowl highlights and tape, because we can't watch it on Facebook. So if you got a Kick or a Twitch, make sure y'all follow me, Shotbybuddha on Kick, Shotbybuddha FB on Twitch. And when I come off the reset tonight, we'll watch some of those Senior Bowl highlights. We'll watch some of those reps, because you take the Senior Bowl with the unsung guys and some of the guys that don't have a big name making a name for themselves, and then you got the combine and mix that with that, and we start to get a clearer picture on what teams want to do free agent wise and in the draft. Can't believe y'all took Saleh from my 49ers, low key in shambles. Yeah, y'all lost a lot of players last year and had a lot of injuries. Now the coaching staff is taking a shake up. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially with the Rams and the Seahawks playing for a shot to go to the Super Bowl. And like the Cardinals can't stay down forever, right? You know, like, so it's going to be interesting. And the Rams got 2 first-round picks. So like the Rams is still back in prime position. So all right, y'all, that's been a 90-minute shop talk. Make sure y'all following the YouTube, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. All these shop talks are compressed, broken down, and they go back up in smaller portions on YouTube. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, tap in. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments of the YouTube channel. That way I can make it part of the weekly mail bag. But we'll do a slight reset. We'll be back in a few minutes on Kick and Twitch late night, and then we'll watch some of the Senior Bowl highlights. Hey, God first in the chat, and we out.